This week has been Climate Week Scotland, and with the global pandemic, understandably, climate change has taken a backseat to much more serious and grave problems. But as restrictions begin to ease, it's time to put climate change back on the agenda. This time last year, climate change was at the forefront of people's minds, especially amongst young people. The younger generation spoke up and voiced their concerns on what the planet would look like when they're older. We can all do our part to help, and when it's broken down into small changes, we could make a huge difference. I am Stephen from Kirkcaldy, and today we will talk about 8 things you can do to help tackle climate change. Number 1. Waste less food. Try your best to keep an eye on the best buy dates. If you can't eat it before then, look to see if you could use it for something else or recycle it. The best thing to do is not to waste food at all, but some can't be avoided, like banana peels or skin of an orange. Make sure you're putting these items in your food waste bin. Doing this will be one of the most effective things you could do to reduce your carbon footprint. You could reduce your waste by planning ahead before shopping. Try keep a notepad handy in the kitchen and note down any food that is running low. Have a look through your cupboards and fridge once a week to see what you need, and this should make it easier to keep track of what you have and stop random trips to the supermarket. Potatoes, fruit and milk can all be frozen for later consumption. It's also a good place to keep bread, which is a major culprit of food waste. A staggering 24 million slices of bread in the UK are thrown away every single day because they're not used in time. Remember, you could freeze food nearer its use by date too. Know the difference between use by and best before dates. Food with before dates are safe to eat after the date, so think before you chuck. Turn leftovers into exciting recipes. If you plan ahead but still find there's surplus food to use, don't worry. You could use them to cook a load of different meals. Look out on our website in the coming weeks for exciting recipes from our community chef Ian, who will be sharing these top tips. Number 2. Changing your working habits. About the only positive I found with lockdown was the impact that it had on the environment, with most people being off the road and working from home. Where possible, it might be a good idea to try and set up a more permanent home office, and instead of going into the office for meetings, try video calls. Especially during the pandemic, it will lessen the demand of public transport and you will be travelling less, which will mean fewer emissions. If you're like me and miss the social aspect of being in the office full time, then try and find the right balance for you. Number 3. Eat local. Try to source food in your local area so you're not travelling long distances and you are helping local businesses at the same time. If you're still working from home, then take advantage of the extra time you may have to get inspired in the kitchen. There are a lot more options now opening up on our high street, so now is a good chance to help any local businesses and have healthy meals. Number 4. Travel active. During lockdown, we saw a huge boom in people getting out on their bikes, and with restrictions easing, why not, on a permanent basis, ditch the car and keep going to places on your bike. Also, if you weren't one of those people who picked up a bike, walking to your destination, if it's in walking distance, is another great alternative. Doing these activities more will help reduce the number of petrol and diesel cars on the road. Another way to help reduce the number of petrol and diesel cars on the road is to invest in electric cars or bikes. Some research might be needed for this, but it's definitely worth having a look. Number 5. Review your heating systems. Make sure your heating systems are providing the right amount of heat and that you don't get too warm or too cold. Make sure they are working efficiently. Also, make sure your home is draft proofed and you're well insulated. You can contact our Cosy Kingdom service for free and impartial energy advice. You can see their contact details on screen now. Number 6. Reduce and repair. Try reducing the amount of food you buy. When shopping, try to buy what food you need, and when you're buying clothes as well, try to buy what you need and try not to get sucked in by deals for items that you don't really need. If an item that you have has lost its original purpose, then you could do some research online on how you could repurpose that item. If you can't find anything else to do with it, then don't throw it in the normal bin, which will end up in a landfill. Try to see if anywhere local would take them and recycle them. Number 7. Install LEDs. There's been a lot of misconceptions surrounding LEDs over the years, but LEDs are now a lot better and more affordable than they were years ago. They are still more expensive than your standard light bulb, but they will last you a lot longer, meaning your investment will be worth it over a longer period of time. Also, the amount of energy that LEDs save is huge compared with the standard bulb. Number 8. Have a climate conversation. Have a chat with family and friends about their views on climate change, and help educate others or educate yourself more. Start to work together so that you can help each other in becoming eco-friendly. Also, you could have a look on our website for our Climate Cafe events, where we watch a film based on climate change and we have a conversation about what actions we can take afterwards. And that is our list. Did we miss anything out? If you have any more to add, then let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.